Greetings, everyone. I'm Jonathan Bailey from the site Plagiarism Today, which can be found at plagiarismtoday.com. And today I wanted to talk at least a few seconds about the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act, more commonly known as CISPA. You've probably been hearing about it, and God knows I have been almost constantly hearing about it over the past few weeks or so. And I've got to say, I'm a little bit confused by it. Everyone's been pitching this like it's the new SOPA. It's worse than SOPA. It's SOPA 2.0 or SOPA's mutated cousin. It's what SOPA turned into, behind our backs and all this weird stuff. It's kind of a strange message because when you look at the actual act, it deals with the sharing of information between private companies and the federal government and how those companies are able to gather information about you. It's basically the controversy over it centers around internet privacy. And I'm not here to say if CISPA is good or bad, because pretty much my point here is this is well outside my area of expertise. I do not claim to be an expert on internet privacy. I do not claim to know whether or not this law takes reasonable safeguards or not. This is outside my area, sort of not something I'm qualified to talk about, but I've been bugged about it because all the emails, all the comments I've seen on Facebook have always pitched it as, the new SOPA, and it's just not that. This has nothing to do with SOPA. It's nothing like SOPA. If you believe it's a bad piece of internet legislation, which is probably a very reasonable belief, it's bad for very different reasons than SOPA. This has nothing to do with SOPA. The big copyright fear is some people believe they're going to pass this and sneak copyright into it somehow later, and you could do that with any bill. I mean, literally, if you wanted to be a jerk about how you pass your copyright legislation, you could easily just slip it into absolutely any copyright law or any law that you pass at any point for any reason, it seems. So, that idea of that's how it's connected to copyright's a bit of a stretch to me. If you believe this is a bad law, and there's certainly reasons to believe it, you've got to stop pitching this as SOPA 2.0. This is a completely different beast. It's a different bill with a different purpose, different backers, different message, different idea. You can't just simply, shake the stick of SOPA at absolutely every bill you don't like that has anything to do with the internet and expect that bill to go away. Now, the one optimistic thing that I do see in this is I've been reading about there's been a lot of compromise going on with CISPA. It seems like the two sides are going back and forth, and maybe there are going to be some concessions and some amendments made to it that will make the internet privacy advocates a little more happy, is the hope. And if that's the case, then maybe the internet did learn at least a little bit of something from the SOPA and PIPA thing, and they are actually learning how to compromise and learning how to draft good or at least better legislation. That's my hope in this. But you can't keep shaking the stick of SOPA. You can't pretend that this is SOPA 2.0 and use that as your rallying cry. It's not SOPA 2.0. And besides, when SOPA 2.0 does come along, and it will, don't forget this, it will come along, if you've already used that rallying cry of this is SOPA 2.0, you're not going to be able to do it again. So think about it. Think about your strategies, think about it for the long haul, and realize what this bill actually is. It may be bad. I'm not offering criticism for or against it. I really, like I said, it's outside my area of expertise, but I can tell you straightforward, it is not SOPA 2.0. Well, on that note, everyone, thank you very much. This is Jonathan Bailey, signing off.